T, I'm respected. If there's a plug in the room, I'm connected. I watch the cat OD.
Yo, it's like trying to find my way. I'm still slanging out of states. From a kid, I've been paid. I used to hustle in the rain. Give a fuck about the fame. Once the hood, they know my name. AMG, I'm switching lanes. I got hustle in my veins. I take risks, why do you think they call me TR? My hood's violent, we got smoke like shisha. Johnny's got raiders, so I'm slanging out of Nina. Blocks full of demons, got a lick, so it's scheming. I burn a bridge and then I burn a zoo.
YouTube, what it do? It is morning time, and I woke up later than I expected, but I'm working on that right now. Yeah, I'm working on a lot of the aspects of my life, but this is something that I've been working on heavily, on just waking up on time. And I'm more of a night person. I like to focus at nighttime. Like, my focus period literally comes at like 6 p.m. till like 12 a.m. So that's the part where I actually make the reels and everything. But still, it's like, yeah, I want to wake up early, man, for like Fajr, for like morning prayer. I was 159.2 today. It's 0.9. It's 0.9 like pounds over the target weight that I'm supposed to be, but it's still fine. It's still fine. I don't really want to obsess over this like so much over the weight and stuff like that. It just drains you down if you do that all the time. So that's what most people do, and that's why they fail. This is the infamous tracker, that I always show in my videos. You can see, for example, this is a target weight, there's a current weight, this is the difference. And this is like how it's been so far, like every single day you can see I have been inputting. And the target was supposed to be like a straight line, but it's never a straight line. As you can see, I've even had to adjust the target from time to time because I made it too fast, or try to predict it too fast with my weight and everything, And this is where we started, and this is how it's going, I'm supposed to be 145, which is the ideal weight by end of December, but it's probably going to be around like mid-January or something like that. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Interesting though, I ordered like some Gymshark this morning, and it was funny because I had to get my size and stuff like that. But after I like ordered it very fast, because they're like they always get sold out very fast. I ordered it, and then I saw that I had like entered the wrong address, so I had to like be really quick. So I started like acting up and asking ChatGPT very fast, like, oh, how do I cancel the order? Cancel the order, bought a new one with the correct order. It's supposed to arrive in like a week or something. I know in the last video I said, oh, I don't need Gymshark clothes in order to start, but it's good that if you look good in your clothes, the better you feel. Now that I go to a new gym, the better you feel about yourself when it comes to like workout clothes, whatever, everything. And the better, like, the cleaner the gym is, the higher quality everything is, everything's gonna feel much more professional. Everything's gonna feel much better about that. You're gonna feel better about everything. Wow, starting a lot. But the plan for today is, we got like 2 hours of time. I'm gonna do my morning routine right now. Gonna post some stories on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I post daily stories every day. I track everything on Instagram. It's like my accountability holder. Also gonna make a coffee, which I call the gold coffee. And today we're gonna go gym. We're gonna hit shoulders. We're gonna do our steps. Before that, I gotta go to school and get my sister back from school. After that, we're gonna go to the gym. After that, we're gonna come back, eat, work. Eat the last meal, watch a movie at the end of the night. This might come as like unexpected to a lot of you, because you don't think, oh, I am like disciplined guy, I don't watch movies. No, I'm not like that, bro. And also, I don't watch movies to watch movies. I watch movies to study them, because a lot of you guys might not know this, but this is like a dream of mine, right? I want to build an independent movie studio one day, hopefully, right, one day, and direct my own movies. So I'm all about movies, man. I've been studying like this for the past like few months as well, and I've been watching movies since I was a little kid, like I think almost everyone. But I'm very passionate about this topic. When it comes to this topic, I can talk for like hours, you know. I'm what they call a cinephile. So that's what I do usually. I'm going to be honest, I haven't done this for like the past few weeks now. I haven't watched a movie because I've been busy with other things, setting up the plan, you know, making these videos and everything, making some reels, the tweets, the threads. But I'm starting to get back into it because like, I love watching movies and stuff like that. Not for the entertainment of it. Like I usually watch one movie 3 times. So I watch a movie and then I'll watch it again tomorrow, and then after tomorrow I'll watch it again. Just to like analyze everything, you know, just learn everything about it. There are some other directors who've done much like more intense work where they just wake up at 5 a.m. and they watch a movie every single day, like Bong Joon-ho. But yeah, I don't think I will be doing that. I think the first thing that I'll be doing when I wake up very, very early is just pray, get to prayer, and then do my morning routine, man. So I'm gonna stop talking, do my morning routine, and you'll probably see me after I do that. Yes. So I've done my morning routine. I'm having coffee here, and if you can see, this is what I call the golden coffee. Right? It's very, very tasty. 55 calories, just as butter, honey, and I got the recipe from someone else. Very, very tasty, man. But my morning routine usually takes me like 45 minutes or something like that. And it isn't like a journaling session or meditation or whatever. It's not like that. I have 4 tasks that I complete every single day. It's just number one, just make your bed, right? I wake up, make your bed. Second is track my weight. And third is just like reading 2 pages of the Quran. And fourth is 30 questions of practicing like, we call it like Fahrschule, but it's just learning how to, you know, the rules of driving, stuff like that. Here in Germany, it's much more difficult than in the US, so I have to like practice it I've been practicing for the last 2 months, and I still have to practice even more. And the last activity, the last one, that's the one that usually takes me like 30 minutes. Other than that, it's just a 15-minute thing, right? And also tracking my weight, the way that I do it is I wake up, you know, I make the bed, I go to the toilet, I do my thing over there, and then I come back, and then I track my weight without drinking any water, but after like peeing and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that's the best way that I do it, and that's how I get my actual weight. I haven't made my stories yet, which I have to do on this phone, by the way. That's why I can't record myself doing it. But also I have to record a reel today. I have to put out some threads today. Gotta edit this video and then put it out as well. And the daily checklist habits that I have is like very, you know, it's very, very simple. It's just the usual things that I do with the calories and everything. But it's not about those things, you know. It's about finding your own routine. Like you can copy me and still fail because it's not optimized for you. It's probably gonna take you as long like as a month in order to find your true like routine. And if you keep trying every single day and you put the tasks that you don't like doing at the start of the day, you're probably gonna do it because in the morning you have the most motivation, the most willpower. So you're probably gonna do it. That's why I have these 2 tasks: reading the Quran and also doing the car driving thing right in the morning. Because later on, if I try to do it after the gym when I'm exhausted, it's like I can't really bring myself to do it anymore. You know, so also this, but I also gotta like start praying more, man. I'm gonna be honest. I feel very, very guilty about it when I don't do it. And that's something I think that's needed more in the world, you know. A lot more people need like God consciousness. I've seen loads of people talk about God consciousness. They say they have God consciousness, but at the same time they were talking to me about like stuff with girls, about like smoking cigars, about doing shisha, all these things. I've seen so many people literally be like a person who's like very religious in front of you, but in the back end you see them hanging out with girls and stuff like that. And it's just like, are you really God conscious? Do you actually really fear God, or are you just saying it just because it increases your status? You know what I mean? And even for myself, I'm right now like thinking like, yeah, I'm just like virtue signaling right now. I'm not perfect myself when it comes to this topic, but I've seen worse. I've seen worse than me. But repeating this routine, even though the first few days I did not feel like it, and after like 2 to 3 weeks, when it just got boring, and I had to like show up and keep doing it. I think the opposite thing happened. I expected it to get like boring, and I would change it and whatever, but I always kept experimenting with this routine, right? I had like journaling in the beginning, but then I removed journaling from it because I saw that it was ineffective. Like the goals that I have, and even the materialistic ones, they don't really need journaling. I can just um, journal inside of my stories, not in the writing sense, but literally like in the speaking kind of sense. And that's what I do like every single day on my Instagram stories. Now, if I wake up and I don't do this routine, it feels weird. It feels really, really weird. And that's a good thing because now I've optimized myself for this routine. And I sometimes change a few things, metrics here and there. Yeah, that's the way to actually go about it, man. To just have like a tracker, track it in your own way, okay? Track it in your own style. Do not really try to replicate me as much because it won't really fit your lifestyle as much. You probably have things like work, you have a 9 to 5 or something like that. I am in a lucky position right now where I am on a gap year and I don't have to do that. I had like a mini job a year ago. Right now, the only kind of like real work that I'm doing is this. For example, like documenting my journey and being on like this fat loss journey. Most people are not going to have that. So having your own optimized routine is the best way to have like everything through, right? Do you like to go to the gym before you work? Do you like to go to the gym after your work? Personally, after my work, I usually had like less motivation to go to the gym. I would make up more excuses because it has to become like brushing your teeth. You're probably not brushing your teeth if you're in a very like bad position, man. If you're mentally fatigued, if you feel like you're feeling depressed and stuff like that. Most people, man, like it's very disgusting. But 3 to 4 months ago, I was very inconsistent with it as well. And most people think, oh, this is very like a disgusting thing. Why would you even talk about this? Inconsistency, it aligns throughout your entire actions, all of the spectrum. When you're inconsistent in one area that's like actually should be very normal and like brushing your teeth very normal, be consistent with it. It's like spans through other areas as well. Not taking a shower, not washing yourself properly, like in the hygiene sense. Not shaving your face regularly, I have to do it like I do it every 2 to 3 days, but 3 to 4 months ago, I'll leave it for a week. Small stack ups of consistency, they build up towards like big things. I couldn't have been consistent on this journey for this long ever if I hadn't had this morning routine. I'm telling you. If I wasn't consistent in the morning with this, if I hadn't had a fast win in the morning with this, I would just feel like a loser every single day because I woke up late. And I would use that as an excuse to not show up to the gym. I would use that as an excuse to not be on my diet because, oh, today wasn't perfect. I'll just start tomorrow, when I wake up on time. I never woke up on time. Waiting for the optimized routine, for the perfect routine, never worked out for me. it never worked out. Because the perfect routine came through months and months of experimentation every single morning, of months of not waking up at the right time that I wanted. And once I start waking up at the right time that I want, it's going to be a little achievement. It's going to be a little thing that I'm going to be proud of. And most people say pride is wrong, but I see it as a way of like having a bit more like respect for yourself, because I think that's what's lacking for most people, and that's what was lacking for me 3 to 4 months ago when I was inconsistent. After I came back from Thailand, I went back to playing video games, literally. I literally went back to having this urge of like buying a PlayStation and playing like the God of War game, And mind you, like I'm 19 years old at the time, still I am. And I hadn't had like a PlayStation for like, I don't know, like a decade or something, The last one I had was a PS2. But I'm urging my father to like buy this, buy this, buy this. And it shames me to actually even talk about this because it's such like a pathetic thing to do and for me to say, like, because even like 2 to 3 years ago I was against this. I was against like video games and all of that. It's, in my mind, it's something like that like losers do. Like right now I've changed my mind on it. It's just like if you want to do it, you want to do it. You have free will, man. God has given you free will. I don't judge anybody on that. You can do whatever you want. Me personally right now, I'm not going to do it because I'm not in that phase of life. I don't have the freedom I want. I don't have the level of money I want. I don't even have a car. I don't have the car I want. I'm not married. I don't have the house I want. So right now, as I'm entering my 20s, I gotta be very effective with my time, and I gotta work, and work. Also enjoy the time that I have with my family right now, of course. That's what most of the founders say right now, like on Founders Podcast, their biggest regret is not spending enough time with their families and prioritizing the work. But if they hadn't done that, they wouldn't be the people that they are today in terms of like retiring their families and helping everyone out. But that's a side note. I went back to playing the video games, and I tried to find my freedom through that, right? Once my like father bought it for me, I got addicted to it, man. I got addicted to it hard. Like, it came to a point where I would just get out of my room in order to get some food and then come back to my room to just play it again. And after Thailand, I got like very sick. I wanted to have this like fighter life. I don't really think like anyone knows what happened there. Like TLDR, I went to Thailand to like make more money and meet a few people that I'd known on the internet. Turns out it didn't work out as I wanted to, and I got sick and I just came back. I wanted to live this like fighter life, have a fight there, have a professional fight there, become a professional fighter, make a lot of money, follow the path of extremism and also follow those people. But at the end of the day, I recognized that that was all bullshit, so I just came back, and once I came back, I got like very sick. I had this like literally like this lung thing that disabled me from like even exercising for a month, and in a month and a half I didn't even exercise or didn't do anything because the doctor said don't do it. Like with the PS5 thing, man, it was a horrible situation, man, because I was playing day and night, man. I literally like finished an 18-hour game in like 3 days. It was God of War Ragnarok. Pretty good game, not gonna lie. Pretty good game, but it's just sad because nothing really happened, in real life. What did I get out of it in real life? Nothing happened. I've always been the type of person that follows either one extreme or the other. I don't really believe in like balance truly, because most people who like believe in balance don't really want to take any risks in their life and don't really want to like pursue anything else. Most of them are just they're trying to stick where they are. But I feel like being on the other two sides is also isn't a good thing, you know what I mean? Not moving and moving extremely fast. Because the people who try to sell you the idea of moving really fast, the faster they try to tell you, oh, this is the fastest way to lose weight, this is the fastest way to fat loss, the longer it takes. I've learned this. It took me a year and a half to learn this. The stubborn fat, the visceral fat, whatever, a doctor telling you that you can do it in 1 week. There's some YouTube videos out there literally. The longer it will take. And you can see it in their client testimonials. I was in a dark place, but I'm so hopeful now, and I'm so happy about the fact that I actually got to experience that, because otherwise that idea would still be numb in my head. And what I mean by that is it would still be romanticized in my head. You know, when you don't do something that you desire for a long period of time, you start romanticizing it in your head. You start to like put it on a pedestal. You start to think like, oh, how great it was, you know, back in the day when I used to play those video games. Like, those video games were so good. I wish I could just go back and play those video games again, or watch those movies. Or like, I watch movies now, but you get the point what I mean. Or just trying to re-experience the dopamine that you had experienced in that moment when you were a child. I'm telling you, it's not the same. It is not the same, literally. Like, I came to Germany from like Afghanistan, right? A year and a half ago, I went back, and it wasn't the same place that how like my childhood experience was, in my childhood friends. None of them were there, none of them. And also, like, the place was just in like it had gotten like 30 to 40% worse than how it was. I would say even 50%. It wasn't the same place anymore. Most of the times we just get stuck in this idea of prioritizing the past and saying, oh, how the past was so good, you know, 2020 quarantine, like, you know, it was so good. I had all this time to do these things. I've now realized that if you put me back, like, sometimes I get these thoughts of, if I could just go back to my 13-year-old version, I could make so much less mistakes when it comes to fitness, when it comes to business, when it comes to everything. But I'm telling you, it wouldn't be that different to how it was. You know? It wouldn't. Because how I'm acting right now is exactly how I'd be acting if I was 13, if I was put back in that position. Not like me right now when I'm like consistent, but 3 month, 4 month like version of me that was like in a bad place. But the point is just like, you would be still acting the same way that you are acting right now. Nothing would really change. You could quit your job right now. You could have your entire day, 24 hours, prioritized towards fat loss. If you don't have the right mindset towards it, you'd probably fail again. Every excuse is just a mental cap that we've created for ourselves. You know me, I've realized like there's so much that I can do. There is so much to my... I'm not even near my potential. I'm not even near my potential. I'm telling you. I don't even really think I'm like 3% there, literally. Because my potential is capped where my mindset is capped. You know, if someone has a potential to be a billionaire, but he's capping himself, like his mindset is fixed at one place, he's not going to reach his potential ever. Believe in consistency is all there is to it, man. If I'm being truly honest. If there's one resource that I could recommend to anyone watching this video, if anyone is actually watching this video and watching me yap for like 10, 17, even 20 minutes or something like that, you know, it's called Founders Podcast. And I think this is the best resource I've ever came across, ever, on the internet. And I'm not overhyping it. This is actually the best resource ever because billionaires listen to it. And I'm not kidding. You know, this actually actual billionaires, actual multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, literally deca-billionaires listen to it. Alright, guys like Brad Jacobs. I think it was the guy who made Kane's Chicken or something like that. Tom Gray or something like. His name was with Tom, but he was also listening to it as well. He was on David Sender's podcast on the newest episode, I think. So if it's just about the Founders Podcast is just about like biographies of the most elite people alive. You know, billionaires, like movie stars, famous directors, greatest directors of all time. There is athletes. There's so many names. There's so many episodes done. I think my by far the most favorite episode that I have been listened to the most is how Walt Disney created himself. Yeah, I think I've listened to that one like over 20 times. And the biggest lessons that I've taken from those, listening to like hours and hours and hours of those podcasts, especially when I was doing like the pizza delivery job. I hated that job. You know, in the cold winter of Germany. Cold winter of Germany. Very, very cold, you know. Let me check how much degrees it was. Like it's right now. It's 34 degrees. 34 degrees. Around this kind of like weather, I was just riding the bike every single day a year ago. And I would constantly listen to Founders podcasts. I would also listen to some like music and some courses and also some movies. I was desperate, man. I hated the job. But this one episode, I've listened to it more than anything because it was so good. I learned so many lessons from it. I highly recommend it. But belief and consistency are the two biggest lessons that come from it. You know, most people, they try to tell you it's this thing that you're doing wrong. It's this thing that you're doing wrong. It doesn't matter what plan you're on. If you have belief and you have consistency, you'll be able to do it. You know, that's it. If you have belief and you have consistency, you'll be able to do it regardless of whatever plan you're on, whatever structure you're following. And it is going to happen. No matter what. Belief comes before ability. One of the greatest quotes that I've ever heard. Belief comes before ability. There are stories of Walt Disney literally sitting down for hours and just trying to create a signature. You know, the signature that is now Disney's logo. The Disney logo, that was literally his signature. And he sat down for hours and hours and hours and he would literally practice that signature because one day he believed that this will be something iconic. This would be something that's mythologized and people will remember it for years. And that's why he did it. We're literally talking about a man who won like 22 Oscars or something like that, close to that number. You know, he became a billionaire in the 1960s. He'll be worth like 10 billion today. Create a company that's more than 100 years old. That's worth like 200 billion or 300 billion today. I don't know the full numbers. But there's so many stories of so many people. Literally like, I don't know if it was James Cameron or Steven Spielberg. I think it was James Cameron. Where he would practice his like Oscar speech. Literally when he was a kid. When he was a kid, he would literally like practice his Oscar speech. And later he like won multiple Oscars. If you don't know, by the way, who James Cameron is, he's like, he made the movie like Titanic, Avatar. I would say by far the most successful director, money-wise. Next to like Spielberg would be like Cameron, yeah. And also the guy who created Star Wars. I don't really remember his name. But there's so many lessons to be learned. There's so much more muscle to be made. There's so much more fat to lose. So much more money to make. Like, if you look at your life, if you're sometimes like walking towards the gym and you envision the GTA UI and you see yourself, for example, it's like you are that character. You know what I mean? You are that character. And you can literally control everything, every stat of your life, your haircut, you know, the way you wake up, the way you talk, the way you walk, everything. And will it take some time? Of course. Everything takes time. Everything good takes time. But the amazing thing about it is the fact that it takes time is a blessing. Because if it were fast, you would lose it fast as well. You know, a very interesting statistic. Love marriages have 50% divorce rate. Arranged marriages have like 5%. And what I'm trying to say with that is, which people do arranged marriages still today? Probably religious people, right? Probably like Muslims. And some like Christians as well. And you have to realize those marriages, there's a lot of weight behind it. You know, why those marriages last longer. There's a lot of weight. It's two families merge into one instead of just two people, deciding they're going to marry. There's more depth into it. There's more weight into it. That's why those marriages are more successful. It takes longer to build instead of the short-term pleasure of like committing adultery, with another person. What comes fast usually goes fast as well. And what comes slow usually doesn't go as slow. If you take steroids, the muscle will come very fast, But if you hop off of it, you'll lose it fast. Instead of actually like training for a decade and building that amount of muscle, It's gonna take you a lot of time to actually lose that muscle. Because it takes time. Because I looked at my physique yesterday and I still kind of like felt semi like disgusted by it. I still have that feeling sometimes where I'm feeling, it's like, it doesn't look as good as I want it to look and stuff like that. But it will come with time. That's something that I know it will 100% come with time. It's probably going to take me like a year or another year, like 2 years, in order to see an actual like good looking physique. And even then I know like I won't be satisfied because it wasn't about the physique. It was. But action was the priority the entire time. I've watched this Hermosi video where he says that it took like 400 episodes in order to become like the top ranked business podcast or something like that, or the top 3. And it was 400 hours. 400 hours. Think about that. It took him 400 hours, 6 years of making 1 to 3 podcasts every single week. That's why he is where he is. He has I would argue and I would say like he has one of the best brands right now on social media. And it's because he's built like goodwill. He has prioritized helping people instead of just taking from people like a lot of the people have done. So that's why it's so important to like prioritize long-term growth every single time over short-term failures or short-term grifts. And it's going to happen, it will happen. Those kind of thoughts will kind of creep in a lot of the times where you're going to be like, oh, why isn't it happening? It has to happen faster, But at the end of the day, you just have to stop yourself from like wanting things fast. You can only have things fast. This is what I've realized. I can only have things fast if I expect it to take longer. I also gotta stop like talking like an authority, man. Like the past few videos, I probably like uploaded 100 videos or something, even more than that on YouTube. Like I've enlisted a lot of them over the past few years because I was never consistent. It never really like came to fruition. Inside of these videos, I really talked in this kind of authoritative position, even though I didn't even have that much authority over a lot of things. And I need to just like focus on documenting right now and not speaking like an authority, because sometimes I make the mistake. I have the flaw of going back to that position of speaking like an authority, where right now I don't even have that much authority, if I'm being honest, bro. I've just been consistent for 2 months. I don't have a six-pack. I can't really talk like I have a six-pack. But most of the advice that I'm giving here, man, most of the things that I'm saying is just a mirror reflecting to myself. It's just to keep myself in check. You know what I mean? If you can relate to that, and if you can take a few lessons from that, amazing. But it's mostly just advice to myself. I made these videos to hold myself accountable, to push myself. Because I know right now nobody's going to watch it. this video ain't gonna go viral. So even if that, like, I've seen some people like comment, so I appreciate like if you guys are like watching this for your own sake and getting some value from it. But yeah, I hope people are getting value from this, man, because that's what I'm making this in the long run. Because I know there's gonna be a few people, when they see my body transformation, they're gonna come back to my old videos. They're gonna probably be thinking like, how did this guy do it? And the sad answer and the truth is that it's just about consistency. It's just about there's one answer, and that's consistency in just doing it when you don't feel like doing it. It's the boring answer no one wants to hear. Everyone wants a new opportunity, you know. Everyone wants to hear the expert secrets, be a charismatic leader, have like new opportunities, stuff like that. I don't know why this is like this, not like 100%, bro. Like, people that come back, they'll just realize it's just about showing up, man, for like 6 months, and that's it, you know, minimum 6 months. Because this has to become a lifestyle. That's what I've realized. This has to become a lifestyle. I have to keep eating the same meals every day, even after I get shredded. You know, I could tell myself lies. I could say, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to eating normally. But this is the best way that I've found it for myself, you know, eating the same meals every day, just repeating it. Yes, sometimes here and there, for example, morning we're going to like a guest's house. Tomorrow I'm gonna eat like normal food, because I'm thinking long term about this. I'm not gonna be like a weirdo sitting at home and thinking like, yeah, I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna be focused on my goals. No, I'm gonna go with my family, spend time with my family, man. I'm still gonna show up, still gonna go to the gym. I'm not gonna be a pussy. But still, like, this is like normal life for me now, bro. I'm not gonna change this in order to, after I get shredded, I'm gonna change everything. No. The bulk, I'm just gonna add in like 1 or 2 more meals, still keep showing up and doing like 5K steps after I do the cut, you know, because I gotta put on more muscle, bro. I'm probably gonna look like Bruce Lee or something, you know. That's like very good, but still, I want a bit more muscle. Because I don't have like the best genetics, you know. I have like, what do you call this, like collarbone. My collarbones aren't as, they aren't as long, you know. They're very short. So my shoulders, they aren't gonna pop as much if I, like, they have to become like bigger and stuff like that. I have to like go hard and extreme on the lateral curls in order to have like a good looking physique, because then my head would like look too big. But enough yapping. I gotta get ready, go to get my sister from school. Probably gonna talk again on the way to there, and then come back, and then we'll probably go to the gym. Yeah, I'll see you outside in the next clip. It is cold. Wow. I don't know if it's because I haven't eaten anything, or I don't know, like my parents tell me it's because of you're in a calorie deficit, you haven't eaten anything, that's why you feel more cold. But I don't know. So as you can see, I walk to go to the school to pick up my sister, and then I come back on the bus. But this gives me like 5,000 steps just automatically, you know, just walking to a place and then coming back. And I don't know if you're living in the US or living wherever, there's probably an opportunity that you're missing out on steps when it comes to your life. You could probably like integrate it into your life very easily, just walking to a place instead of taking the bus or driving there. Such a huge advantage. I'm actually starting to like cold weather. You know what I mean? Cold weather somehow. I don't know why. It just reminds me of a year ago when I was like doing the pizza delivery. I traveled to so many places. I actually like riding motorcycles or bicycles to like places on my free time. Kinds of make me feel like free, you know. So that's probably why I just like that part, just exploring like more parts of the city, not the pizza delivering part. But one thing that I've realized is no matter what situation you're in, right, every situation has an advantage to it, every single one. For example, me, I don't have the physique that I want. That's why I started documenting this, right? And inspiring people from documentation and actually showing it, all the process, all the thoughts and everything on the internet. That is the opportunity that I have in terms of like not even having the physique, right? Literally like building it in front of everyone. If I had a good physique, I would have more authority over talking about this topic, you know, fat loss, weight loss, everything. I'd have more opportunity, like more, no opportunities, but more like my words would hit more if I had a very good looking physique. But that's an advantage to that as well, you know. Every position has an advantage. And just taking every test that comes from God with humor is just such an amazing thing to do. I'm just recording and like people are like walking by and shit and they're looking at me like I'm some alien or something. Who cares though? Taking every test with humor has done much more good to me than taking it with other emotions, right? I'm just laughing. I know, for example, I don't know how hard your life is. You don't really actually know how hard my life is. It's just like a day, you know, just like probably like 70%, 50% of what you're seeing on the video. But still, every argument that you have, every test that you're given, where your morals are questioned, where you have to choose between either self-development or self-destruction, taking it with humor, laughing it off, and just taking the path that is more long-term oriented has done me always much better than taking it very seriously. It's like trying to be happy, you know. The more I try to be happy, the less happier I get. The more I try to be more confident, the less confident I get. It's the law of detachment. You know, at some point you just become detached and it just becomes normal. Doing the steps, doing the diet, it just becomes normal life. Just like the brushing your teeth example that I gave before. And that's the best part. That's the best situation. Beautiful sky, beautiful weather. I'm starting to love winter more than summer, man. I'm not gonna lie. I usually listen to like some music or Founders podcast, or I listen to like some music most of the time just to like dumb myself down when it comes to things, right? I'm usually a person who overthinks a lot of steps, and I tend to like process a lot of things and everything, you know. to just stop myself doing that is to just act like a retard, man. If I'm being honest, just listen to some music and don't even think, don't even have a deep thought about anything. Just do your steps. That's how I've done most of the things, bro, these past 2 months. Is just act like a retard at times. And it's worked. It's been working still. I could have been the guy who told myself, yeah, don't record this. You know, don't record this at this time. Don't vlog yourself today, vlog yourself tomorrow. But nah, man. Just do it. That's the best slogan out there. My favorite brand, Nike. Or Nike. Just do it. And that's it. You know, it's interesting how crazy things actually sound when you speak them out loud, you know? For example, when I used to binge eat a lot, I would just do it without even thinking, because it was inside of my subconscious. I had done it so much that it had become like a normal thing for me inside of my head, just like sitting down and standing up, not even thinking about it, just did it without even processing anything. You know, there's a caveat to that, thinking like a retard, because when you're about to do some like bad activity that ruins your entire progress, if you say it out loud, oh, I want to go and eat some junk food, you're just gonna coach yourself at that time, bro. You're gonna think to yourself, yeah, like, no, why would I do that? If you speak it out loud, because it's dumb. But we do dumb shit because we don't speak about it to ourselves. Literally the thing that I'm doing right now to myself, right? It's crazy, yeah. The analogy's coming right now to me. Like, when we do the bad activities, we don't talk about it. We act like a retard when it comes to that. But when we try to do the good activities, our brain literally becomes a salesman and tries to like give us objections in terms of, yeah, don't do that. Don't go to the gym because you have this injury, or you have this small thing you have to recover. You know, don't do your steps today. You've already done this much this week. You've already been consistent for so many days. Stop doing it. So that's crazy. Building consistency is just about rewiring it and turning it the other way around. That is it. Crazy, you know, crazy story. One day found like a dead bird here lying around here in the snow, so I literally like picked it up and put it right there, you know, like the dead body of the bird. Kind of side note, but it was crazy. It was snowing as well. I used to always like come from this way when I skipped classes in school. Yeah. I'll probably see you in the next clip where I'll be probably in the gym or on the way to the gym. Yeah. I'll see you in the next clip, man. Peace. Going to the gym right now. Still very cold, but hope to have a very good workout. Like, this is my second time, or third time rather, but second time actually, like, or first time actually, like. I'm editing this shit, and and I'm laughing my ass off, bro. It's like 40. It's 12:43 a.m., man. I'm editing this shit. It's like I'm acting like a retard inside this video, bro. It is what it is, though, man. It is what it is. Working out inside of the new gym that I'm going to be going to, and yeah, I gotta find out all the good places to do the exercises that I have. And I didn't want to go to this gym today, man. If I'm being honest, I was like, yeah. My mind was telling me like, yeah, choose the comfortable path, man. Go to the old gym, because I can still go to the old gym as well. It's like 2 gyms, the same brand. But I was like, yeah, go to the old gym, right? It's much easier to do the exercises there. But it's like, nah, I want to go to the new one, bro. Is it gonna be like a little bit more uncomfortable finding all the places? Sorry for the sound. It's kind of like traffic and stuff right now. But yeah, is it gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, you know, finding new things, the new equipments, new places, getting the tripod, you know, moving it around here, there, going around. Of course, but it doesn't really matter, you know. It isn't something that's like, it's something new. Experiencing new things, you know, that's the way to go. Beautiful sky today, man. Beautiful sky today. Very beautiful. I'll see you inside of the gym doing the workouts. I'm probably not gonna plug this in because I don't like to talk whilst I am doing my workouts, right? I just like to be focused on one thing. So I'll see you inside of the workouts. Finally out of the gym. Bro. It was much better pump than I had with the other gym. I still have to get like used to it. But yeah, it's funny, man. This gym is packed, bro, sometimes. Like when it's late, it's packed. It's like 4 p.m. right now, bro, in Germany. 4 p.m. It's already sunset. I think it's 4:30 or something like that, close to that. Still haven't eaten anything. Eaten nothing. Because I was vlogging this the entire time. And I kind of like woke up a bit later than I wanted to, you know, vlog this. That took more time than intended. So routine got a bit out of hand. I don't usually eat this late because it's not very efficient. But most of the time I actually eat something like 2 hours before. I actually had like a coffee, of course. It was like 50 calories. And after that I had like a clementine and half a banana. The other half goes in the protein shake, by the way. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. You know, what's funny? The gym was like packed, right? And I'm in the changing room where I just had like my what is it called, bro? The thing I packed my clothes on, you know. I forgot the word. But don't think I'm a retard, bro. English isn't even my second language, bruv. But I just opened it and this other guy comes out and he's next to me very close, right? He's trying to like open his cupboard or thing like that as well. And as he like moves his head up, you know, his head like hits the cupboard, the edge of it. And bro, I held my laughter so hard, bro. It's just because his friend was with him and he didn't even do any reaction. He didn't show any reaction to it, so it was like very funny. But yeah, much better gym, man. Choose yourself a better gym and you'll feel so much better about like everything, because the experience is going to be better. Gotta make some Instagram stories now, man. So I'll see you after I probably eat my meals and after I shower. Peace. I don't think I'll be able to watch a movie. I don't really think I will be. I mean, maybe I'm just gonna watch it with my family. They're in the other room, you know, they're just chilling. I just recorded 2 reels. And I always have this feeling of like I'm not doing enough, you know. I have to do more. I need to look at myself, man. I'm just constantly looking at my own mirror and stuff like that. I felt a lot of resistance after coming back from the gym when it came to recording the 2 reels. There's one's for today and the other one's for tomorrow. And I know I'm gonna feel more resistance when it comes to editing this video, right? Because I have to get it out today. It's today's vlog. I have to get it out today. It's probably gonna make me like sleep. I'll probably sleep at like 1 a.m. or something like that, because it's gonna take time to edit this, to edit the reels, to edit it. I don't usually edit that much. It's just cuts of like, because I go on so many tantrums and so many like talking points that are extra and don't bring any value to the viewer, you know, to you, to the viewer, to you. But I've just written down a few points that I want to discuss right here, so I don't go out of like topic. A lot of lessons from my last video, Raw Talk, where I talk about just starting or coming back to me, because You know, today I felt like a small win was the fact that I just recorded myself in public just talking, you know, and it wasn't that big, but it's always been like this, where I've always thought so much about like what people are thinking about me, what people will think of me and everything. Like if you put me in a room full of like 200 people or something like that, I think my last video got 200 views. If you put me in a room with 200 people and give me a mic and I should be talking, I'd probably get very nervous, you know. And I don't really know what it comes from, you know. I don't want to be like this guy who's like, oh, I'm an introvert, you know, I'm shy, I'm a pussy. No, I don't want to be like that guy, man. These are the things that I must overcome. That's what being a man is just overcoming your fears every single day. Small fears, small shit, small things. Because those things add up in the long run. You know what I mean? These were just like thoughts that came to me, man. I don't even know if I want to talk about that, man. Yeah. Because I'm not that good at it right now when it comes to like a few things. I don't even want to talk about it, man, if I'm being honest. But that's why I think I should actually talk about it, like religion, for example, right? I should pray more, man. Should pray more. And it's not that I don't lower my gaze. It's just that I'm working on it right now, and I need to do it even more. You know what I mean? Probably some like religious guys who are watching, they'll probably understand this. Some people won't, but that's okay. But the fact that I showed up today, man, I actually filmed this vlog, and hopefully I'm gonna post it tonight and not tomorrow. I need you to understand, there are millions of people who didn't show up today. Millions. Millions of people who just sat around, didn't do anything. If you got an inch of motivation from this video and showed up, don't undermine that, right? Don't undermine showing up. When I came back from the gym, you know, I had a headache. And I was like, yeah, I'm mentally fatigued. You know, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, like, there's too much on my plate. Not in the true sense, but in the metaphorical sense. Like, there's too much that I need to do. I need to upload, like, 13 stories. All these things. But it gets easier, man. Every single day it gets easier. The more you show up, the easier it gets. I think it was Stefanoni who said, you don't want to be at the breaking point, but you want to be at the point where you're kind of breaking, you're kind of almost at your limit, but not fully. You're barely like dipping your toes inside of it. You're not like fully inside of it, right? You're not jumping inside of the pool. You're not hitting your limit, the red line, but you're almost there. And that's where the most growth really happens, because you gotta understand there's no competition, man. There's truly no competition. Millions of people did not show up today. Millions. Millions stayed at home. Millions lost the battle inside of their head. They made up an excuse. How many millions of excuses do you think people made today? You know? Never undermine your small wins. And this is advice to myself, because I made a thread post today. And the body transformation that I have till now doesn't look that significant, you know, it doesn't look like mind-blowing IG level style, of course. because I've been doing it for 2.8 months, man, almost 3 months. Of course, it's not gonna look significant, but our standards have been misconstrued, right? Through all of this like IG reels that you see of people transforming, and it's interesting. I saw a video from a guy, and it said, I lost this much fat. You know, he went from like overweight to having a six pack in like 3 months. 3 months, right? And I go inside of his page, and I see another reel, one of these like edits with the funk music. And it was my transformation in 6 months. And I was like, what the hell is this? You know, what the hell is this? Like, are people actually this dumb? And you know what? People will actually believe it, because most people did not go on his profile and actually check some other videos. You know, they just watched the video, got emotional, went up and changed their plans, went extreme in the gym, probably like a fat ass. He went to the gym, he ran, you know, sweat a lot, came back, will probably not show up for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days until his motivation spikes again. That's what I was doing when I saw those kind of videos. Staying on this path is like resisting the devil's whisper. You know? The devil will whisper into your ear, and it doesn't matter if you're religious or not, this will actually make sense. The devil will whisper into your ear, do this, do that, do this bad activity, you know? You can listen to it, or you could stick to your principles, which is not doing it. With the same way, when you're on Reels and you're scrolling the next time and some transformation comes up, because the algorithm knows you more than you, so it keeps recommending you all of these transformations. Please understand that that's just like a devil's whisper into your ear. Change the path. The devil doesn't want you to win. It doesn't want you to win. Read the book, Outwitting the Devil. The devil makes you believe you can't do it, you know? And it's also a good metaphor to just understand yourself. Because your own brain is the best salesman, right? This is what I learned from a mentor that I have currently. Your brain is the best salesman, and it knows all of your objections. So we'll constantly just keep telling you all these objections when it comes to, yeah, change the plan, remove this, put this in. And small experimentations, that's good. Changing one thing at a time, there's nothing wrong with that. But going extreme, just for the sake of the feeling, right? Feeling, just because you're not feeling enough dopamine right now because it's getting boring on the journey, and that's why you want to change it, you want to increase the steps, that's not the way to go. You know, that's gonna backfire very quickly, and you're gonna see that it's gonna backfire. And this is blatant advice to myself, because I have to keep reminding myself of this. Even though I've made progress, I still am dissatisfied, you know, with the results. And that's why I'll constantly keep giving the advice of like prioritize the action, because I don't want to keep focusing on the results. If you focus on the results, I won't get anywhere, right? If I keep focusing on the results. This was an honest representation of how a day in the life and my life actually looks like, because most people's day in the lives, when I see it, they're up, they don't fail at all. Somehow, on that exact day, they don't have any failures, they don't have anything, you know. I failed a lot today, man. Failed a lot today. I did have wins, but at the same time, like, I did not wake up on the time that I want to wake up. I did not pray as much as I wanted to pray. I was a hypocrite at times, you know. I still have more work to do. This is not the end, by the way. This is just the outro. But when this video ends, I still have to edit this, right? I don't know what you're going to be doing after watching this video, but I have to work. I have always expected the work to be less. I've always tried to cut corners. Always try to put in a pinky's amount of work and expect an entire arm's worth of result. That's what I've always done. And that's why I am where I am right now. Not satisfied with the physique that I have. I'll probably never be satisfied truly, but still I should be at a better position than where I am right now. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that. You know what I mean? These videos have been very helpful for myself. I hope that it has been helpful and valuable to you if you're watching. I don't really think anyone is watching this, man. Especially this part. I haven't even looked at the retention rate. I don't really even care about it. But I know there's very, very, very few people that are going to be here. Because my speaking right now ain't the best. I take a lot of pauses. I speak slow as shit. But I don't think a lot of people are watching. But if you are different, man. You're different. You can probably relate a lot. And you're probably on a very similar path. And I hope that this video just helps you to put a realistic expectation of how it is to just like lose 17 pounds. What I've done. This is basically what I've done almost every single day. Some days I have the gym, some days I don't have the gym. Most of the days I didn't wake up on time. This is a confession. Most of the days I didn't wake up on time. And I always use the excuse of, yeah, I'm a night owl and stuff like that. But I always feel bad about it, I always get reminded that, I don't have a real job when I wake up late. And I can laugh about it, of course, but it's actually not that funny to me, Because I want to do more with my life than just be a guy who wakes up late. It's not about just the act of waking up early. I used to be someone who woke up at 5 a.m. every single day, but later on it just went down. It's not about that. It's about prioritizing sleep. I think that's the missing link inside of this journey. The biggest flawed mistake of mine in the last 2 months, which I now reflect upon, is not prioritizing sleep enough. This is how my brain works, man. This is how I reflect. This is how I go deep. If I were to journal, which I don't do really, if I'm being honest that much, it would probably look like this. Just decoding my mind. Just like that. It's something that you can do as well. These videos are actually more like me just reflecting on the journey, man, if I'm being honest. And I just hope to make it valuable every single time. I don't know anything else to say, but I don't really think I have anything else to say. So if you want to grow with me, then you can follow my IG. You can see I'm tired as shit. But I have to edit this video, get it out. But blah, blah, blah. If you want to see me grow and stuff like that, then you can follow me on my IG and stuff like that. You can even message me. Send me a few pictures of you doing steps and stuff like that, bro. Like, don't be hesitant to DM me. What is he gonna think of me? Stuff like that, bro. It would be very amazing if I saw that people are actually doing this with me as well. I know there are a lot of people doing this and very doing it alone. which doesn't really like do good in the long run. You know, you need a community. It's hard to do it alone. It's hard to stick to it when there's no community. So yeah, that's basically it, man. Peace.